This is DMG and welcome to 70 System, and in this video we're going to talk about the weekly monster, and this one is the Tunnel Worm. Somewhere deep in the forgotten depths of history, the Tunnel Worm came into existence. These gargantuan worms are sometimes thought to be as old as the world itself, remnants of the world's creation. The Tunnel Worm is a fearsome encounter for any band of gallivanters, as one tends to encounter their stomach before one encounters the worm. Tall tales tell of the gods riding tunnel worms through the mountains and hills of the world during the creation time. Little is actually known of these massive creatures, as those who get close enough to study them tend to be too close. Only the truly adventurous seek out these creatures, their diamond teeth a prize for any fool. Tunnel worms are gargantuan in size, larger than dragons and about 7 times the size of an average human. Their very long segmented bodies are almost stone-like, a fact that reveals their true nature. They are silicon-based life forms. Their heads are big enough to swallow any creature of size 8 and less, and their body segments each have a pair of stone claws that are used to dig through the ground, walls, floors, or just about any kind of stone. They have no eyes, but sense the surroundings through touch. When dormant, with their mouths open, their gullets are almost indistinguishable from an ordinary cave. However, keen observers may notice the rows of diamond teeth that line the inside of the mouth. However, over vast periods of dormancies, these can be covered with dust and debris. The saliva and stomach acid of the tunnel worm can eat through almost anything. Often referred to as stone worms, tunnel worms feature heavily in legends and creation mythologies of the sentient species of the world. Revered as creatures of the gods, though no god claims domain over them. Their ability to literally eat stone makes them popular features of fanciful quest stories spread by charming bards to the gullible tavern folk of the world. Some even go so far as to tell how one man tamed a tunnel worm to defeat his enemy's castle walls, a story oft scoffed at by learned sages. However, there are tragic tales of early explorers wandering helplessly into the stomachs of these great beasts, only for their bones to be ejected a few moments later. Very little is actually known about tunnel worms, so almost all claimed knowledge is usually treated with skepticism by those educated in the ways of the world. It is unlikely that anyone has ever killed one, though if they had, they would probably have kept their stash of diamonds a secret. Tunnel worms live exclusively underground and prefer rock and stone substrate layers rather than soil. They are almost never encountered above ground. They form intricate cave systems as they search for food, which in their case is thought to be some type of stone, possibly granite. The acid of their saliva and stomach breaks the molecular bonds of almost any material, making short work of even the toughest substances. Once they have gorged themselves, they begin to lie dormant at the end of a tunnel, their mouth opening to fill the cave. They can lie in wait in this position for hundreds of years. It is thought that the refined metals carried by humanoid species are a delicacy to tunnel worms, and that the wait is worth it for them just for the taste of steel. For all intents and purposes, when it comes to longevity, tunnel worms are immortal. Some would say that attempting to kill one is a very foolish endeavor. Tunnel worms are entirely solitary creatures. They reproduce asexually in a process where the worm literally breaks in two, the anus of the original worm becoming the mouth of the offspring. It is unlikely to encounter 2 worms in the same location unless one has just reproduced, or there is a large quantity of their favorite food source nearby. Most encounters with tunnel worms end as soon as they occur. By the time the prey are aware of the pools of acid dissolving the boots on their feet, it is already too late. Tunnel worms prefer to swallow their prey whole. If they miss an opportunity, they will use their claws to attempt to subdue their prey and swallow them again. Once swallowed, the prey are rapidly dissolved in the stomach acids. However, once all metal and stone materials are dissolved, the remains, dead or alive, are ejected out of the worm's anus. As the worms are essentially made of stone, all non-durable weapons break when they injure the worm. An injured worm will attempt to flee the moment they fail their emotion check. If they are injured, they will tunnel directly down into the depths of the earth near the magma layers. Tunnel worm acid is highly prized by alchemists and herbalists the world over. It is nearly impossible to transport except in expensive crystal and diamond bottles. Even small amounts of this acid is very valuable. The acid eats through almost everything. Anyone swallowed by a worm will incur 1 injury per turn, while all their belongings dissolve. The tunnel worm is not nourished by flesh, but by metals and stone. Once all the metal and stone objects have been dissolved, the person will be ejected through the worm's anus. Along with the unfortunate victim being ejected, tunnel worms tend to eject other interesting artifacts like gemstones, crystals, non-stone and non-metal items of high quality. Although the treasure may seem worth it, the journey there is crap. Now, isn't that a fiendish and conniving scumbag of a monster that helps you to strip away all the things the players thought they were going to have through the rest of the campaign? Alas, no. You are now in a pile of poo without anything of any value, except a couple of diamonds and a few gems. So if you like this video, click the like button. If you'd like to support this channel, check out patreon.com/7dsystem, where patrons at a certain level will receive these PDFs as part of their rewards. And if you'd like to get a PDF, check out the link in the description below this video. And in next week's video, we're going to be talking about this unfortunate fellow, the zombie. Until then, check me out on Facebook and Twitter. See ya.